It was in 2015 that I found myself in the region of Charlieu for the weekend, and I was looking for something specific to do during the weekend. And Charlieu is 80 kilometers from Lyon, which is the capital of gastronomy for the whole of France. In Charlieu, it's in a region very, very picturesque, very much the countryside, very different to the normal places in France where you see the tourists. And I wanted to see more, and I knew Geneviève from a school I'd been at, the School of Languages in Riorges. And I had a word with Geneviève, and Geneviève, along with Sandrine, had started the Culture Confiture. So that's a small tourist company operating specifically in this region. And Sandrine is a national guide and has been doing this a long, long time, and is also a specialist for the resistance movements in this particular area. And Geneviève is a very good administrator. And they put together a program for me which was quite excellent. From the site, their website, it's possible to see the many different possibilities which Culture Confiture offer to their clients. And they asked me what I wanted, I explained what I wanted, and they put this program together. And we commenced on a Saturday, and we visited a vineyard. That was extremely interesting because it was a tour of the vineyard with the owner of the vineyard, who had all the technical information regarding the production of wine, from the growing of the vine to the harvesting to the bottling. And he explained this in so much detail, it made it really live. And afterwards we met in a small cafe in the same region and had a tasting of the wine. And afterwards, in his car, it was possible to buy the wine. And this was wonderful. And after that, we visited many of the abbeys and monuments in the region, which is, each one has something very different, because for example, there are the abbeys there which have the roofs like you get in Bourgogne. I stayed on the Saturday night in a chambre d'hôte, were themselves very different to the normal hotels for tourists. They were very chic, very French, and that for me was very important, because I wanted to have a sort of immersion in France, on seeing France, and that was possible because they arranged that I would meet the French people. It's possible to have a sporting holiday with Culture Confiture. It's possible to go bike rides, go hiking, and also rowing on the river. There are many things possible. For the Sunday, I was with Sandrine in Lyon. Now, Sandrine is an expert guide of the history of Lyon, the history of the silk, which was particularly important, and we visited a small workshop there which were making the scarves, and that again was very interesting. It's the sort of thing you wouldn't get if you're just on a big tourist trail, because this was a tiny workshop making very, very expensive scarves. We visited the churches, and she explained how the village had grown because of the silk industry, and how it had expanded. From the cathedral at the top of the hill, it was possible to point out how the river and the town had brought everything together into what the town is today, which is an enormous area which is now occupied. But the old part of the town is still very much as it was 300-400 years ago, and this is wonderful to see. No, so the area itself is wonderful, the way things are put together is wonderful, and the people are just so charming, and it is well worth a look at the website.
such a